Hello. Okay, welcome to day 2. So, since yesterday, I actually did read some documentation, which turns out should have been doing yesterday. Yesterday I was actually looking at the daily documentation, which is here. But you see, daily is the transport, not the actual voice agent orchestration layer. So actually what I should have been reading, and is actually quite good, are these docs here, pipecat. So if I had clicked here, it would explain actually what I needed to set up. So I could have done that instead of asking Perplexity. And it takes you through everything that we went through yesterday in a nice streamlined fashion. So I would definitely recommend reading this if you've got time. And then there's the core concepts, which I went through. I've got to say, this is well explained, and I sort of vaguely get this. But when you actually look at the code and how this relates to it, I'm still sort of confused about that. So, let's have a look, because this is the pipelines. This is the part where I'm sort of still trying to figure out what's going on. So let me open up Cursor. So you can see we've got a complex pipeline here. If you look at this compared to the example. And the three things we need to understand apparently are these frames, processors, and pipelines. Now, I can't explain this to you because I don't really get it yet, but this is good stuff to read. What I'm going to try to do today, what I wanted to do today was actually try to generalize our example, with the idea being that you could then pass a config to it and then it would build the assistant dynamically. But I think this is probably a step too far for now. And I think what would be a better exercise is actually building out a complete agent using pipecat's flows and trying to get that working and figure out how to generalize from there. So we're going to abandon this backend for now, and today we'll build a new backend, which is going to be, I'm actually going to build a replacement for the voice agent on my website, which is a lead qualification agent, which does lend itself to flows because of the stages, and see if I can get that working with pipecat. So let me just demonstrate actually what I'm going to replace. Okay, so this is a really basic agent, which is also actually open source. If you go, yeah, it's actually this one. I built it on top of VAPI, and you can actually get a copy of this installed in your own VAPI instance if you just run this script. If you clone this, run the script, it'll basically save a copy in your own VAPI account, so you can customize it then for your needs. So I'll just demonstrate what's going on. Oh, that's not the one. All right, start the demo.
Hi, I'm David, an AI assistant with John George Voice AI Solutions. How can I help you today?
Hi, David. Tell me a bit about your services.
I'd be happy to. We specialize in creating custom voice AI solutions tailored to various needs such as customer service, sales outreach, appointment bookings, automated reminders, lead qualification, smart voicemail, conducting surveys, and handling FAQs. To better assist you, may I know your full name?
Yeah, it's John George.
Nice to meet you, John. What kind of voice AI solution are you looking for? Could you tell me a bit about your needs?
Yeah, I need something to handle missed calls.
Got it, John. So you're looking for a smart voicemail solution to manage missed calls. When are
Yes.
you hoping to implement this voice AI solution?
Next week.
Great. And do you have a target date in mind for when you'd like the solution to be fully operational?
Yeah, next week.
Understood, John. Have you considered a budget for this voice AI solution?
About £5,000.
That sounds reasonable. Just to clarify, the budget is for the initial setup, and there will be ongoing costs associated with the service. John, I'm curious about your experience with our conversation so far. How do you feel about the quality of our interaction in terms of responsiveness, understanding, and naturalness?
Well, there's some kinks to actually figure out, I think, but it'll do.
I'm glad to hear that, John. Would you be interested in exploring your needs in more detail with our founder, John George? We can arrange a video conference for a discovery call, or if you prefer, you can send an email with your questions. Which option would you
I'll send
find
an
more
email.
convenient? Give me a moment. Tata. You're now on our contact page where you can send your email
Actually, let's do a
inquiry.
video conference.
Give me a moment. Tata. I've directed you to our booking page where you can set up your video conference with John. Is there anything else?
Cool, thanks. So, I mean, as you can see, it can navigate the website for me. So it'll be interesting if I can replicate that functionality. What it can't do is actually book a appointment. So that might be something that is easier to implement on the back end because it's not going to require a communication with the front end. So I'm just going to try and build a back end replacement for this on pipecat-flows, and we'll connect and chat to it using Daily's website rather than building a front end. So actually the front end we built yesterday would be able to connect to this if you configure the right room, because it's just a generic front end, same as like on Daily, but there's not really much point because I'd have to figure out the layout there. So okay, so to begin with, I thought maybe I did see some examples, use cases. Complex conversation flows, right? So for applications that need structured conversations like customer service or form filling, you can use pipecat-flows. And there's some flows examples. Okay, so let me actually just replicate this locally. You type git clone, by the way, I just have an alias to speed things along. Okay, so this is an examples and static. Let's use OpenAI. So this is a flows example that uses tools. So there's actually two types of flows. There's dynamic and static. Again, I tried looking through this code to figure out exactly what's going on, and it's pretty complicated. So some experimentation will definitely help. But it is a simple pipeline. So this is, fair enough. Okay, so what I think it would be useful to do actually is try and get the AI to explain what's going on a little bit. So I'm going to actually just sign into some things here in Chrome. So first I think I'll sort out perplexity. Can I just... Okay, I'll do this on my second screen just for privacy. Okay, what account am I using? That's a good question. Okay, let me see, what account am I using? Okay. Okay, two-factor authentication. Bear with me. Okay, so I might just edit this part out for you, sorry. Okay, I think we're good now. Cool. Okay, so we've got perplexity. I should have done this earlier, but well. OpenAI, ChatGPT, login. Okay. Okay. I think what would be useful is just to get this documentation in Markdown in case I can use it as context. Okay, please parse this into Markdown. Cool, so it's doing that. Let's get the use cases here. Might as well just get this too. Also this, please. Okay, so get Sublime text open. Need help, yep. There's some YouTube videos. Maybe I should watch that. Watch that later. Okay, so let's save this. So we're going to go pipe cat lead qualifier. And okay, so there's this doc, then I think I wonder how many lines of code this is. All of this is. Okay, they're all pretty long actually. Okay. Well, let's see if it can handle it anyway. So, in Perplexity, could you write me a command that uses bash's find to cat all the files of extension py in a directory, prefixing the cats with the file name context. So cat is a command that will just dump the contents of a file. Okay, cool. So yeah, if I go then into my pipecat-flows directory, flows examples. Let's do it from here and see what happens. So if I run this, see a lot of text. Doesn't look like it's too bad actually in terms of length. So let's put this into and flows examples. Okay, so now I wonder. I'd say I'm so confused by what I read that I don't even know exactly what questions to ask, but let's see. Can I touch files? No. Okay, so let's see if 4.0 can explain this to me. Right. Okay. attached are example implementations using pipecat and pipecat-flows to build voice AI assistants for various purposes. There's also a high-level description of the architecture. And important concepts. I don't really understand how they tie into the code, and I'm hoping you can review the examples and descriptions and tie it together for me. If you could provide minimal examples of each of the 3 core concepts: frames, processes, and pipelines, I'd appreciate that. Okay, let's see what. Now that's interesting that okay. Okay. So actually it might make sense to just move this in here. So let's just pick one and try and get it working. Restaurant reservation. So I've got also in my dev directory my actual attached the system prompt for a lead qualification agent I'd like to replicate using pipecat-flows. Could you provide an example implementation based on the examples? Hmm. and flow manager and initialization. Right. So please the flow manager and initialization. Would be crazy if this just worked. I should really get one of the ones that definitely working first though, and then do a diff. I'm going to do a diff of this anyway, just to see if I can understand what's going on. So it's actually not using any of these, so why is that there? Okay. Cursor knows what's up. Okay. Okay, here's what I've put together so far. Could you tell me which of the static examples provided previously this is most similar to? Food ordering and movie explorer. There's probably movie explorer. Let's do this. Okay, so food ordering. Okay, so then this app called File Merge, which is part of the Xcode suite for Mac OS, which does pretty good diffs. I just want to have a little look. This is the new one. Dev pipecat-flows, examples, static, food ordering. Okay, right, I think I'm starting to understand like what these handlers do. Okay, could you write a requirements text for the project? Do feel free to search the internet for the pipecat quick start docs, etc., or whatever you need. Do we need to version these? Is it going to be aware of the latest version even? Who knows? Okay, so I think we're done with that. Let's just get into old cursor, trusty old cursor. Might actually just try and get DeepSeek with Klein to do some of the legwork here. So new file. So I'm going to delete the version numbers for now because I don't know if we need that really. Just install the latest versions. So let's just okay. And obviously install the requirements. And these underlines should disappear, hopefully, if this works. Okay, so flows. Okay. In a project, I'm working on how do I install the flows. So I don't know why it's got flows. That's probably just some hallucination. I'm just gonna leave it there anyway, though. Hey, okay, that worked. Okay, so I actually needed requirements too, but now it seems like everything's set up correctly. How do I run? Well, I just run Python, don't I? I can just run it. Yeah, no worries. So Okay, well, actually, I probably need to set up some environment variables, right? Env. Do I need to set up environment? Okay. Oh, it's just hard-coded that. That's interesting. I'm guessing that when they did it, they did, yeah, .env, right. Okay, so let's ask DeepSeek. Actually, maybe let's just check this in. Okay, so git init. Yeah. Let's quit this and open again. Initial commit. Don't even know if it's working. Haven't run it, but whatever. So, oh, cool. So we need to. Right. So. There's some API keys in main. I'd like these to be screaming snake cased variables declared at the top of the file and loaded from the environment. Just disable notifications on my phone. Should have done that as well. There we go. Focus. Stop. Go away. Right. Loaded from the environment. That's it, right? Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's put it at the top of the function. Okay, no worries, that'll do. It's the only place they reference anyway, right? I mean, cool, no worries. So yeah. So I need deep grammar API key, open API key, and the daily room URL. Okay, so maybe this will work. We'll try and run this. I'm going to make it .env here. You can just check this in. Variables, config variables. That'll do, right? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to use my other screen here to get some API keys set up, and I will also not open anything here, so I'm just going to do this over here, so let's open this here. I need these. Daily room URL. You can just delete the room afterwards. I'll show you this part. Oh, nice. Oh, sweet. Wow. Hell yeah. Nice one, Daily. Probably not going to be able to use all those. So yeah, this is another reason of like I'm pursuing this, because like the cost efficiency, if you can build on these frameworks, is really good if you've got the skills. And I mean, I really should be able to develop the skills, because I mean, what I do is haven't got any familiarity with this particular framework yet, but you know, that's going to come. So rooms, let's make a room, and actually let's look at the settings this time, right? So anyone with the link can join, sure. Okay. Nope. Just disable cameras. No. So I actually don't want them to be able to use cameras at all. It's only quite impressive what they've done, to be honest. Okay. So that's the room. Yep, copy room link. Great. So that's the first one, daily room URL. Good-o. So then into OpenAI, API keys. I trust you guys know how to do that. So OpenAI account, dashboard, API keys. Create new secret key. Lead, pipecat, lead qualifier, test, create secret key, copy. Okay, and deepgram API key. Deepgram. I do have a deepgram account. Login. Create an API key. Actually, let me just check if I've got any other ones. My first live kit experiment, October 1st, yeah. Okay, well, pipecat lead qualifier. I can actually set an expiration date for these as well. Actually, I should also write a note for myself to do after day 2. Okay, delete API keys for well, everything in the env. Create key. Okay. Okay. The environment variables are set. So let's join the room. And run main. Of course. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's interesting. Let's have a look. Participant. Okay, well, let's just remove that. Oh, wow. Okay, it's made up. Okay. It's made up. The stuff is. This is what happens when you try and do everything with AI. I think maybe that was. Okay, sweet. So this actually does need to be there, but it needs to be token. Let me just check I've got the end. I'm just going to check that I've actually set this up correctly. Okay, I mean, I don't see why that's not working actually. Let's ask. Don't modify any code, but I've got this error. This is despite me setting up that key in my .env. Can you explain why? So you can't stop client editing files is the thing. Like, it really just it wants to do its work. Let's just let it. I mean, it's messed up the requirements, but whatever. Load.env was the missing step. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. I mean, chill out, Klein. We've got you. Okay. Thank you. You can just chill. Thank you. Okay, so .env. No. I mean, what did it do, actually? Just revert, discard changes. Yeah, we've got .env there, no worries. Load .env is what we needed, though. So the difference here is just literally that, right? Okay, and my own changes. Cool. Let's see. Oh, sweet. Okay, so yeah, cool. So the issue now is that it's hallucinated the variable names because I didn't have the context of the actual of these libraries actually. So when I hover over these, you can see, like, from the linting, the attribute names that are set in the function definition. So here, right, there's some keyword arguments, and it's just made up those names. So I think all the flow config. Report building. Let's just check this in anyway. So load from .env and fix a couple of hallucinated keyword argument names. Also maybe dev branch, just because I always do that. Can you actually make a new branch here? I'm sure you can, because I've done it before. I mean, I did it in Windsurf actually, I'm not sure. I mean, it's both Visual Studio Code forks, right? You've got to be able to. Dev. Cool. How can I get it to, okay, actually maybe just let's trace through myself. So yeah, now we figure out the flow configs. This will be interesting. Okay, so is there any... Where can I find the pipecat-flows documentation that'll explain the format of a flow config? Oh, sweet. Yeah, this is actually what I need to read. I'm gonna have to probably read this tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna have to read all this. But what might be useful? Cursor settings. Okay, docs, add a new doc. Pipecat-flows. Go on. So now cursor is going to index this so that I can actually refer to it. Has it really indexed it? Not really, right? Because it's probably not going to be all that useful. There is possibly the ability to use MCP. Okay, haven't really messed with this. Create existing tools. Okay, look, so MCP. So could you get? Do you have a tool to scrape documentation into Markdown from the web into Markdown format for to add to your context? Oh, it's going to write something using Beautiful Soup, not like Beautiful Soup is just it's very memory inefficient. I have to rewrite something using LXML to go on then whatever. Hope this bot doesn't hack me. Doc scraping, that's it. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, there we go. Right, yeah. So it's actually trying to install it with Node. npm install, yeah. I didn't notice that. That's daft. Okay. This is interesting. Okay, so DeepSeek is not that great at understanding the difference between languages, interestingly. This is a little side quest. This is probably going to be just a waste of time. That's what happens though. Sometimes you waste your time. Well, I'll make this bigger, shall I? I'll do this for now, but I mean, obviously, when I'm actually trying to do coding, I like to have the smaller text so that I can actually work with lots of stuff. So someone asked me to make this bigger, but I am actually now recording in 4K, so you should be able to read this. Also, in reality, I mean, this isn't going to be very useful until I get good at this. So yeah, this is just not. This is a dumb way of doing this, to be honest. Well, we should have just told it you could use crawl for AI, right? Why are you? I just want to let it finish, just in case this does actually work. Test the implementation. Cool. Well, I'm just going to have a quick look to see what exactly this thing is doing in my documents directory. Klein, CP doc scraper. Wow, there's a package JSON. tsconfig JSON. What are you even doing? I think we're just going to abandon this. Just stop. Why did I ask? Okay. Claude probably needs to be the one building these, but that's going to be prohibitively expensive. So let's close all this. Yeah, I'm sure it did close with one. Okay, so back to the drawing board. So I need to figure out the format for what? Flow config. Is there actually something here? Flow configuration. Okay, sweet. Read the README. Yeah, read the docs. Definitely. Good idea. So let's get this as a doc for context. So in here. Go away. Nope. Package JSON. Wow. Okay, actually, yeah. Now I can't even read the code in the text that big. So okay, when I run main, I get the following errors. I believe that's because we're not following the format described in read files. Sweet. In there, have a look, and see if you can fix this, please. Yeah, please do fix the remaining nodes. I do really prefer Cascade to this, but I mean, Cascade has had some issues lately, so. Cascade being the agent in Windsurf, by the way. Okay, it says this is maybe work now.
Hello. Thank you for calling. How can I help you today? May I know your full name, please?
Sure, it's John George. Can you hear me? Hello? Anyone there? Knock, knock. Okay, that didn't work.
Hello there. It's so nice to have you with us. How can I help you today? May I know your full name, please?
Yeah, sure, it's John. Okay, we've got maybe no events to handle the actual. Okay. So we've got an event handler for when the participant joined, which I guess is firing and saying the first message. I'm wondering, is there any handler in these other ones for when I finish speaking, maybe? Nope. So it's probably the flow config that's not working. Okay, so I'm gonna actually just have a cup of tea and a think, and I will be back. Okay, let's continue. So currently the puzzle is, why is the flow not working? So we'll have to read some documentation tonight, but for now let's see if we can just figure out with the help of AI. So let's see, let's actually hit up Claude for this maybe. Make a new project. Okay, so I guess it would make sense to add all this stuff to context to begin with. Okay, so sure. So from knowing nothing about it, I'd like you to teach me. So don't focus on outputting working code. Focus more on explanations of concepts. Okay, so let's see if I can give it some more context. How much information, if I just take all of pipecat-flows and dump it in there, will that be? That's not too bad, actually. Is that really the whole code base? Okay. Okay, so let's specifically ask it about some stuff. So also, I guess a new chat. Okay, so actually, can I just drag this here? No, I guess. Okay, so let's do it somewhere else. Okay. And okay, so the part that's not working specifically is the flow config. Okay, right. I've attached 2 complete files for context, but the issue is with the flow config in main.py. Doesn't seem to transition between states at all. Can you help me figure out why by comparing it to the food ordering py, and also feel free to use the files attached to the project to help you, particularly the core concepts. MD. And the code base. Yeah, you ponder, Claude. Meanwhile, oh yeah, exactly, cool. I remember reading about this in the documentation. 2 different types of functions. Am I? Okay, how about... Let's generate a commit message. What did I actually do? I can't remember. Okay, right, so it's first attempt to correct the flows function definition. Flows project readme for context. First attempt at fixing flow config. Failed. Well, I mean, actually, we did get the start. It said something. As, I mean, whatever. Okay, so how about you just rewrite? Could you rewrite the whole of the flows config in main.py for me, please? I'll do a diff and see if we can figure it out. Thing is, these handlers are actual functions, right? Yeah. Okay, this is probably a bit complicated, right, for just the first attempt. But it has actually done all the... It's included them all. Okay, let's just... Let's run it, see what happens.
Hello. Thanks for calling us today. May I know your name, please?
Yeah, it's John. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you say anything? Okay, look, stop. Okay, so if I just copy the one that's meant to work into here, I've got the environment variable set up, so maybe it will just work if I run that. This one's food ordering. Let's just see what happens if I just copy this. Hello, can I create? There we go. Sure. Runner. Well, I mean, that's interesting. So I do need the runner as well. Okay, is there a runner? There we go. But that's different. This is a different error, right? You can get the same error. Yeah. I mean, the package probably got the same name, but just let's check anyway. Maybe actually a better question. I need make requirements for this. Is there a requirement anywhere? Oh, it's telling me how to fix it. I think I need to escape the brackets, but whatever. So cool. Yeah, there we go. So Python. Okay, well, so I'm gonna have to use some. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add some API keys, obviously. Okay, a Cartesian. I might as well just let's run it. Why not? Oh, okay. Sample room URL. So that's gonna be the same one. And obviously, I guess it's gonna be a deepgram, Cartesia, OpenAI. Cool. I'll just add those over here. I'll just get my .env. Over here. So sample room URL will be the same. And then Cartesia API key. Wow, I got auto predict in sublime text. Interesting. So yeah, Cartesia. Login. Cool. API keys. New. Pipecat-flows. Lead qualifier. Copy that. Put that there. Great. So now, hopefully, we can run it. I'm still in there waiting for the bot. Daily API key. Okay, so let me try and sort that out. So into developers on the daily thing. Okay, I've got an API key there, so I'll copy that. Okay. This is called what? Daily API key.
Hi there. Thanks for calling. Are you in the mood for some delicious pizza or maybe some tasty sushi today?
How about some sushi?
Great choice. Let's get started on that sushi order for you. What would you like to have?
What do you got?
We've got some delicious options for you. You can choose from California rolls, spicy tuna rolls, rainbow rolls, or dragon rolls. How many of those would you like?
Changed my mind actually. I think I might like some pizza.
No problem at all. Switching to pizza is an excellent choice. Let me just make that change for you. What type of pizza would you like?
What you got?
We've got a variety of pizzas to satisfy your cravings, including classic margherita, pepperoni, veggie delight, and BBQ chicken.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. Why does that work? Because obviously they know what they're doing. So listen, I need to actually go through the code, read some documentation, and do that. All right. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to call it enough for the video thing here because I'm just, just wasting people's time. So cheerio for today.